Right, afternoon everyone. This is Dreaming Crow doing a demonstration video for you today on my channel. We're going to be doing some of the work out of Damon Brand's book Magickal Protection, and what we'll be doing specifically in this video is doing the Sword Banishing Ritual along with the Sword Banishing activation. So again, that's out of the book Magickal Protection by Damon Brand. Okay, now I have done a book review on this on my channel earlier in actually later last year. I believe it was in October or November. I thought I'd go ahead and do a demonstration of this. It's not a very difficult banishing ritual, folks. It's fairly similar to as if you were doing, say, the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Of course, you don't have to walk around the room drawing a bunch of pentagrams all over the place, but it does consist of the activation ritual first, and then the sword banishing is performed after that. So basically, the sword banishing activation you perform just one time, okay, in order to get the angels to assist you with protecting you at that point. Okay. In this activation, there are a total of 11 angels or spirits that are contacting. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of a commentary while I go through everything here, and then I'll pause the video after the activation, and then we'll go into doing the sword banishing ritual itself. Okay. Now this is the basis for a lot of the protection, or at least most of the protection rituals in this book. So if you're going to go ahead and do, say, the master protection ritual, you do have to have this completed before you perform the master protection ritual for 33 days. Okay, and the sword banishing ritual is also part of the angelic protection rituals that are found in the book. Okay, so it is important that you go ahead and get the activation done first. It's only going to take about maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the most for some people. Some will probably do it in less time, some will probably do it in more time. Don't stress over it. Okay, just go ahead, relax. If you need to go ahead and take a quick shower in order to kind of relax yourself for something like this, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Take a ritual shower, ritual bath. Just don't worry about what's happening outside of the room or outside of your home. I understand that we all know that the coronavirus is happening right now, and people are going batshit crazy out there and buying up everything in the stores. But for right now, just kind of put all of that outside of your mind, and we're just focus on this ritual for right now. So this activation does appear on page 32 in the book. Okay, and I'm going to show you a picture of the tablet. Basically, it looks like, looks like this. Okay, and in here you have the angelic name written in Hebrew above the English name. So when you look at the Hebrew name, you're going to be looking at from right to left, and then when you read it in English, of course, you're going to read it normally in English. Okay, and then of course you're going to start at the top and you're going to work your way down. Now some of you already know that I do stuff like this for my own personal book. I wrote mine out a little bit, obviously in larger letters, larger character fonts. So this is my sword banishing activation, but it basically has all the same information that's in the book. Okay. So this is what I'm going to be going by. Now, obviously, I've already done the sword banishing activation years ago when I first bought the material. But again, for aesthetics and for the demonstration video, I'm just going to go ahead and go through the process. So first and foremost, you want to make sure the book is in front of you, of course, or the material that you need. And you're going to look at the first name, which is Yohak. Again, we're starting just at the top of the list. Okay, and we're going to be working down. And when you look at the word for Yohak in Hebrew, you just want to scan over it from right to left, taking all the shapes. You can do it a couple times if you need to. And then when you're ready, you want to speak the angel's name 3 times in English. Now you can do this part when you speak their name in English. You can repeat their name up to 1 minute, and as far as like the time length, but that's not necessary. Obviously, the more times that you repeat it, and the longer that you stay on it, the longer the ritual is going to take. So just keep that in mind. If you're pressed for time, just kind of stick with the saying it 3 times. Okay. So it doesn't have to be anything special. Just Yohak, Yohak, Yohak. Now we're going to move down to the next angel. And I'm going to repeat this one 3 times. Again, after this, I'll just be saying each name 1 time, just for the purpose of the videos. I want you to get the understanding again. 3 times for each name, though, when you do this activation. Okay? Again, looking at the Hebrew name from right to left, taking all the letters, absorb them into your subconscious. And that angel is Kalak. Okay, so Kalak, Kalak, Kalak. Okay, moving down to the next one is going to be Avgitzatz. That pronunciation always gets me. So probably not the only one. Again, looking at the Hebrew from right to left. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go through everything to begin with. Okay, moving down to Karestan. Again, reading from right to left in the Hebrew. Just take it in for a moment. Again, just maybe 10-15 seconds. It doesn't take very long. Karestan. 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 Okay, moving down to the next one is going to be Negdi Kesh. Reading the Hebrew right to left again. Negdi Kesh. Negdi Kesh. Negdi Kesh. Okay, the next next one that we are on is going to be Bat Rat's Tag. Again, Hebrew, right to left first. Bat Rat's Tag. Bat Rat's Tag. Bat Rat's Tag. Okay, next one is Chocolate Na. Chocolate Na. Chocolate Na. Chocolate Na. Okay, next one is Yag Left Zak. Yag Left Zak. Yag Left Zak. Yag Left Zak. Okay, next one is Shak Zit. Shakutzi, Shakutzi, Shakutzi. Next one is Nazariel. 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 And finally, the last one is Aziel. 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 Okay. And once you finish the last intonation of Aziel, you have completed the sword activation, the sword banishing activation ritual. Okay, you are now able to move forward with the rest of the rituals in this book, including the sword activation, which is an important step in the master protection ritual, again, as well as the angelic protection rituals found in the book. Okay. Again, this ritual only has to be done one time for the activation. After that, you don't need to do the activation again. So that was just my demonstration for you for this video. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video now. We're going to move into the sword banishing, and there's going to be a little commentary in that, not a whole lot, and then we're pretty much just going to end the video at that point. So I'll be right back, and I'll get a drink of water here really quick. Alright folks, and we are back doing the sword banishing ritual here. We're going to be doing a short demonstration on how to perform that. We just finished with the sword banishing activation. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the sword banishing. Again, this is an important step to get this, the activation done for the sword banishing first, and then perform the sword banishing at least one time, because you will be needing it in order to perform the master protection ritual, which I'll be doing a video on after this one. And then you will also be needing the Sword Banishing for doing the Angelic Protection rituals in the book. So let's go ahead and jump into the Sword Banishing, and we'll get that done. Now, of course, this should ideally be performed in the morning time, and then once in the evening before bedtime, just as if you're performing the Lesser Banishing Ritual, the pentagram. That's fairly common with that, if any of you are familiar with it. If not, you can look it up on YouTube and get an idea. There's lots of people that have their variations of that. I used to practice it many years ago myself. I don't personally practice the Lesser Banishing Ritual anymore myself, but that's neither here nor there. So other than that, this actually can be performed anywhere, okay? And I've actually used this like on the bus. I've used it in restaurants, social settings. You'd be surprised what kind of how quick you get results, okay? I did this one time in a restaurant with co-workers that I was around, and I personally, I'll be honest, I personally don't care for very many of my co-workers. I have very little in common with them. They always want to be they're really not the kind of people I want to hang around with, okay? They want you to be assimilated in their group and to be accepted in their group, and for that you have to allow them to treat you in ways that I personally don't care for. Growing up, I was verbally abused a lot by my father. I was called a piece of shit a lot. I was told that I wasn't going to amount to a lot of things, and it really just pissed me off. And there's reasons why I don't stay in contact with my family members, okay? And there's reasons why I don't allow people to treat me certain ways. For instance, one of my father's things he used to tell me was, it was always my fault. Steve, it's your fault. It's your fault that, this is like this. It's your fault that this happened, blah, blah. Fill in the blanks, whatever. Piss me off. So now when somebody tells me something is my fault when it's not, you can believe me when I tell you that I go fucking nuts on them. Okay, I will chew their ass out and make them feel this fucking big when they say something like that to me, and they learn very quickly that you don't talk to me like that, because it's not right to treat somebody like that. Okay. So again, so I'm just going to kind of clear myself there for a minute. All right. So anyways, I was in the restaurant, to get back to that story, and with co-workers, and we were having a company meal. The company was basically paying for it. I want to say it was around Christmas time, and I don't really care for celebrating like a lot of holidays either. But I was there, and I just really wanted to have time to myself. But there wasn't a lot of places that we could go within the area that we were, our group was designated for. And I really had, a book that I wanted to be able to read without people looking over my shoulder asking me like what the fuck I was reading, And I really wanted some privacy. And so I did this Sword Banishing Ritual, and within about 2 minutes, every person that was sitting on either side of me, as well as across from me, left. And it just shows you that, it basically banishes, that negativity, or it pushes it away. And so at that point, I was actually kind of happy, because I was like, yay, I'm by myself. I can like read my book without people like sticking their nose in it and asking me what the hell is going on. And yeah, I am kind of a bit of a loner at times, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. So let's jump into the Sword Banishing Ritual here, folks, and get it done. And so the first thing you want to do is obviously breathe in. You want to imagine the power of you want to imagine the sun, okay, and you want to feel the power of the sun. Now, the way that he describes it is take a deep breath and imagine the sun and feel its mighty power. Imagine the sun shrinking down and it moves into your chest and settles into your heart there as a tiny brilliant star. Now, you can visualize that if you'd like. That's again, that's in the book. That's what Damon Brand wrote, and that's what I put here in my notes in my grimoire here. I add a little bit more to it. Okay, what I do, I'll tell you what I do, and then if you could try it if you want to, and if it works for you, great. If not, you can just go with what's in the book, or you can imagine it however you want. Okay, but I close my eyes, and I do imagine the sun as if it was, shining brightly above me. But I also take my hands and I put them around the sun as if I'm grabbing it. Okay, and then I'm pulling it in, and as I pull it in, I compress it. Okay, I compress it and until it gets smaller, smaller, smaller into the palm of my hand, as it's just a tiny little ball of light in my hand, like the size of a head of a pin or a needle or something like that. Okay, and then I place it in my chest. Okay, and that's the way I do it. Now, again, you could try that and see how you imagine it. Imagine grabbing that sun, that bright burning ball of hydrogen and helium and whatever else is contained in it. Just imagine that it's bright and shining right above you, and grab it and compress it into a smaller ball. Keep pressing it until you can literally imagine it as if it was like a tiny little speck of light in your hand. Okay, and place it inside your chest. Okay, so that's the way that I do it. Okay, once you do that, you want to say the angel's name, Yohak. Okay, and you could either say it or you could think it. Okay, Yohak. And when you say or think the name, imagine Yohak is here on your right side. Okay, however you want to envision that angel is totally up to you. Okay, I would try to recommend not to go like super crazy on it. Don't imagine them as aliens or anything like that. But just they could be a being as large as you, or as small as you, or as tall as a room, however you want, with wings, without wings, robes, whatever you want. You could put whatever kind of imagery in it you want. Okay, but the important thing is that Yohak is here standing beside you. They have one sword that is placed across their body, okay, as if in a stance of protection, and then the other sword is outstretched for attack. Okay, and once you visualize that Yohak is there and in that position, you're going to move down to the next one. Kalak. Again, Kalak is here now on your left. And again, you can envision Kalak however you want at that point. Okay, it can be male, female, androgynous, however you want. Okay, and again, Kalak also has a sword across his body in a protective position, and then one sword outstretched as well. Okay, and then moving on to the next step, when you say Nazariel, you want to remember about the star of light in your chest. Okay, Nazariel. So remember that brilliant light, and then when you say the last angel's name, Aziel, you're going to expand that light into like a sphere of light to encompass you. It can be just big enough to encompass you, or if you're working in a group, or just the room. If you want to encompass like the entire house that you live in, that's fine as well. The way that David Bram puts it is you can make that sphere as large as you want. You can make it as big as a mountain if you want. Okay, I really don't know why you would need to make something that large, but if you need to and you want to, you could go ahead and do that. It can be as small as you want, it could be as large as you want. All right, just understand that when you say the words Zariel and Aziel, you're not envisioning any angel particularly, like any shape or appearance or anything at that point. You're just saying their names. Okay, so moving forward, okay, and then imagine that sphere extending out, and you only need to, again, this is a sphere, three-dimensional. It surrounds like the entire area that you need. Okay, and you only need to imagine that sphere for 10 or 15 seconds, maybe at the most. Then it fades away. Okay, and the angels on both sides, Yoak and Kalak, they also go away, but the protection remains at that point. Okay, you're not left unprotected. Okay, and that is pretty much it. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to do this really quick again, without commentary, just to get you an idea of what it, how quickly it can be done, and then we're going to call the video done at that point. Okay. Okay, and that completes the Sword Banishing Ritual. Okay, as performed, as written in Magickal Protection by Damon Brand. So we're going to go ahead and close this video out here. I will go ahead and do another video on how to perform the Master Protection Ritual after this one. So give me a few moments, I'll take care of a few things, and I'll record that video. Be right back, folks.